Das Englandspiel, also called Unternehmen Nordpol, was an enormous counter-intelligence operation launched by the German intelligence agency, the Abwehr, during World War II. German forces captured Allied resistance agents operating in the Netherlands and used the agents' codes to fool the Allies into continuing to provide the agents with information and supplies. About 50 Allied agents were identified, captured, and executed. Details: the British Special Operations Executive was sending Dutch intelligence agents into the occupied Netherlands during the war. The operatives were usually flown out at night and either dropped by parachute from converted Handley Page Halifax bombers or landed in deserted fields by Westland Lysander SDOL aircraft, which could also pick up agents at the same time for flying back to Britain. SOE air operations were based at RAF Tempsford. As early as 1942, the operation in the Netherlands was penetrated by the German counter-espionage under Major Hermann Giskes of the Abwehr and continued under German control. Apprehended radio operators continued broadcasting encrypted messages, but without the required security checks, which should have alerted the SOE that they had been compromised. Further, SOE's head of codes Leo Marx claims to have quickly realized that, unlike all other coded messages, the Dutch messages contained no errors which made them indecipherable. He reasoned that this was because they were not coded in the field, but by German cryptographers. In the documentary Churchill's Secret Army, he recounts how a wireless operator ended a telegraphic radio communication with HH, which stood for Heil Hitler and was the usual closing for German communications. The other party instantly replied HH, which indicated it was a German who was used to doing it automatically and not a British agent who would have been confused by the two letters. Finally, he sent them a deliberate indecipherable message of his own, which was replied to. He reasoned that no ordinary agent could have reconstructed his message. He reported these findings to his superior, who told him to not discuss the matter with anybody else, and no action was taken. It was reported that agents who were supposed to return from the Netherlands had met with various calamities and so could not return. Further, in 1943, 2 Dutch agents did manage to escape from captivity, but their claims on returning to Britain were dismissed due to a fake message sent by Giskes that 2 German agents were being sent to the UK from the Netherlands. The operation was not completely shut down until Giskes himself sent a cynical clear text message to the SOE on the 1st of April 1944 complaining about the lack of recent business given that he had been servicing them for so long. Giskes' message also promised a warm welcome to any further agents SOE wished to insert into the Netherlands. By November 1942 it was clear to the signals section that agents were in German hands. The fact that neither the Dutch section overseeing operations in the Netherlands nor other services were notified is probably motivated by interdepartmental rivalry between the SOE and the rival secret intelligence service from which SOE had been created. Any failure would weaken political positions. It has also been argued that SOE had set up the operation for the single purpose of leading the Germans into believing that an invasion would take place in the Netherlands. Similar allegations have been made about the fate of Francis Suttle and the SOE Prosper network in France. However, the decision to land at Normandy had not been made until late into the Englandspiel saga. Marx claims in his book that the real issue was internal rivalry between the SOE and intelligence gathering CIS, and so SOE did not want to admit any error. Marx says he was ordered to deliberately withhold important cryptographic information from people investigating the Dutch operation at the time. Agents During the Englandspiel, the following people were dropped in the Netherlands. The 28th of August 1940, Loder van Hamel, sent to Oegstest in Zuid-Holland. The 5th of July 1941, Aart Alblas, dropped near Nieuweschans in Groningen, arrested. The 16th of July 1942. The 6th of November 1941, Huub and Thijs Takonis, dropped near Armen in Overijssel. Lauwers was arrested on the 6th of March 1942, Takonis on the 9th of March 1942. The 9th of December 1941, Wim van der Reegden, sent to Scheveningen, arrested on the 13th of February 1942. The 23rd of February 1942, Evert Radima and E.W. de Jong, sent to Katwijk ANZ. Radima was arrested on the 29th of May 1942, de Jong on the 22nd of May 1942. The 28th of February 1942, Gerrit Dussing, dropped near Ermelo in Gelderland, returned via Brussels to England on the 2nd of September 1943. The 27th of March 1942, Nol Barthson, dropped near Kallenkoot, east of Steenwijik in Overijssel and immediately arrested. The 29th of March 1942, Jan Molenaar and Leo Andringa, dropped near Holten in Overijssel. Molenaar was injured and committed suicide. Andringa was arrested on the 28th of April 1942. The 29th of March 1942, Gos Ras and Han Jordan, dropped near Holten in Overijssel. Ras was arrested on the 1st of May 1942, Jordan 2 days later. The 5th of April 1942, Henk Siebes and Barend Kloos, dropped near Haaskamp, Ede in Gelderland. Siebes was arrested on the 8th of May 1942, Kloos on the 29th of April 1942. The 18th of April 1942, Jan de Haas, brought to Castricum, arrested on the 28th of April 1942. The 29th of May 1942, Herman Palviet and Toon van Steen, dropped near Kallenkoot, east of Steenwijik in Overijssel and arrested immediately. The 22nd of June 1942, Jan van Reerchorten and Joe Buizer, dropped near Holten in Overijssel and arrested immediately. The 26th of June 1942, George Jambros and Joseph Bakens, dropped near Kallenkoot, east of Steenwijik in Overijssel and arrested immediately. The 23rd of July 1942, Gerrit Jan van Hemet, dropped near Holten in Overijssel and arrested immediately. The 24th of September 1942, Karel Bukemato Water and Cees Drooglever Fortune, dropped near Baloo in Drenthe and arrested immediately. The 24th of September 1942, Mooy and Jongchli, dropped and immediately arrested. The 1st of October 1942, Aart van Guysen, dropped and immediately arrested. The 21st of October 1942, Mindet Koolstra, dropped near Ermelo in Gelderland and arrested immediately. The 23rd of October 1942, Jan Hofstede and Christian Pouwels, dropped near Holten in Overijssel and immediately arrested. The 28th of November 1942, De Cryf and Charlie Roesler, dropped and immediately arrested. The 29th of November 1942, John Ubbink and Herman Overs, dropped and immediately arrested. The 13th of February 1943, Trickster Wund, dropped and immediately arrested. The 16th of February 1943, Van den Orkies Holstein and Bragauer, dropped and immediately arrested. The 18th of February 1943, Gerard van Oos and Jan Kist dropped near Voorthuizen in Gelderland and immediately arrested. The 18th of February 1943, Wim van der Wilden and his cousin Piet van der Wilden dropped and immediately arrested. The 9th of February 1943, Peter Doelien dropped near Ermelo in Gelderland and immediately arrested. The 21st of April 1943, Klaas Wegner, Freek Rauwers and Ivo Uitvank dropped and immediately arrested. The 21st of May 1943, Oscar de Brie, Anton Mink and Lawrence Punt dropped and immediately arrested. The 7th of October 1944, Harman Koopmans and G. Ensink dropped at Dokkum and immediately arrested. Koopmans killed at a Oosthoven near Apeldoorn. Aftermath. After the war, reproaches were made to the SOE for serious flaws in the preparation of the missions, and for ignoring warnings that agents had been caught, notably the absence of security checks, which were deliberate errors introduced into messages by the sending agent, the scheme for which was known only to the agent and the SOE. The existence of security checks in messages indicated that the sender was the legitimate agent and that they were acting under their own free will. However, the absence of security checks represented a vitally important duress code, which should have warned SOE that the sender was either an imposter, or a legitimate agent who had been captured and coerced into working for the Nazis. Repeatedly ignoring the significance of the absent security checks was a serious violation of the SOE's own transmission protocol. In popular culture, Englandspiel is the subject of the Dead on Arrival episode of the Secret War documentary series, and of the Confusion Was the Business episode of the Secrets of World War II documentary series, which both aired on the Military Channel in the United States. Englandspiel is the historical inspiration for Police, an episode in Season 8 of the historical television drama Foyle's War.